Hello Roosevelt students, this is Mr. Roble. I'm doing another lab video with you. Today's lab that we're going to be doing is called the Chemical Equations Practice Lab. You can see up at the top, the purpose is I can explain a chemical change and use evidence to identify a chemical change. So keep that learning target in mind as you're doing this lab. And if you don't have a hard copy of the lab already, you can certainly get it from your teacher's website or possibly from your teacher's gradebook. So for the experiment, the supplies that we used in class were 3 bolts, just like this, 3 washers, like this, and 3 nuts, like this. And just kind of a heads up in the lab, these are referred to as screws. They aren't screws, they're nuts. So just keep that in mind that anytime that it talks about screws, it's actually talking about nuts. Now, if you have these at home and you want to do the lab while I'm doing it, you certainly can, or else you can just follow along as I do the lab with the nuts, bolts, and washers that I have here in class. There is some research that you have to do up at the top. You can find this research information from your notes. So look at your notes or else the online textbook or your hard copy of your textbook. Let's start down here where it says practice. Letter A. Have each person take 1 bolt, 1 washer, and 1 screw and put them together. Here's the equation that would show this. So the equation is bolt plus washer plus screw. Remember, every time it says screw, it means a nut. So bolt plus washer plus nut equals bolt slash washer slash screw. Anytime in this lab that there's a slash, that means that there's a chemical bond between those substances. So in this case, the bolt is bonded with the washer, which is bonded with the nut. So just kind of keep that in mind. You have to draw what it is that you made here. So number 1 says draw a quick picture beneath each object listed above to show what you have made. So I'll show you what you're going to be working with here, and then you will draw those things. So I'll move this out of the way. So you're starting with 1 bolt plus 1 washer plus 1 nut. And that equals this. So you have the bolt bonded to the washer, bonded to the nut. So that is for practice part A. It says to circle the reactants and underline the products in the equation. So wherever you drew it, it's going to be right here next to the drawing. Circle and underline the reactants and the products. Then there's a couple of questions to answer there. B, you do a similar thing. It's just you're going to use different materials this time. So this time it says 1 bolt connected to a washer or bonded to a washer, plus another washer, plus a nut, plus another nut. And then you end up with 1 large combination of all those items. So again, I'll show you what it is. And then like it says here, draw a quick picture, circle the reactants and underline the products, and then answer the questions that go along with it after. So this time we have a bolt that's already bonded with the washer to start with. We have another washer. Whoops. We have 1 nut and 1 more. And so we have to bond those together. We end up with this. So we have the 2 washers, the 2 nuts, and the bolt all bonded together now. So that is part B of your lab. Part C, again, it's the same thing. This time there's kind of a problem with it though. And so it says you have to look through it and possibly fix the problem. So I'll show you what we have. We have a bolt plus a washer plus a bolt and a nut together. That equals bolt, washer, nut, bolt, washer, nut. So again, I'll show you what it is, and there's a few questions to answer for part C. Part D, you're going to do on your own. You're going to create your own, and then draw whatever you create on your own right in this big open space. So back to part C, here are the things. So we have the bolt, we have the washer, second washer, and then we have the nut and bolt already bonded together like this. And that equals bolt, nut, washer, bolt, nut, washer. Something is not right with this equation. If you count the amount of nuts and bolts and washers, they don't exactly match up, so something is wrong and you have to fix it. So that's for part C. Again, part D, you're going to do that part on your own. You're going to make up your own sample, whatever you want to use, and you don't have to use all the pieces. And then there are 4 conclusion questions at the bottom. And that's it. If you have any questions, ask your teacher. Otherwise, good luck.